Champion's Journey. It's actually helping you get involved in a child's life from the comfort of your desk, your living room, your dining room, whatever it is.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Tiff and Tony Show. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Tony, you're giggling over there. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well, thank you. So as we've started this Tiff and Tony show today, I am on a mini journey this morning. I'm out and about in a coffee shop because I needed to change the scenery. And as this show started, as you started to say hello, music played in the background, and it was "I Love You, Baby," and it just made me giggle because not something that I've heard for a very long time, and it just made me smile. That's the one thing I love about journeys, right? You never quite know what you're going to get while you're out there. So that's what I'd love to talk to you about this morning. Certainly to start off with, journeys. Why are they so fascinating? What is it about them we love?
Yes, that's a great question. I go on lots of journeys and adventures. The big journey I'm on is the fact that I'm living in a low top van with my two big dogs, which that in and of itself is a journey, just navigating our living space. But it allows us to drive to different locations in the Western US and go on lots of other smaller journeys. And so I think what's so fascinating about journeys to the human race is that, like you said, it gets us out of our comfort zone. It gets us on in a new location. Sometimes all we need is a change of scenery, like you said earlier. One of my favorite things about journeying is journeying with my feet. I love the slowness of not just driving somewhere, because the road trip part's kind of fun where you're driving through new places. But what I love is when I get out, feet on the ground, I go on a little walk around my campsite, or I go on a longer hike, and you see things that you don't see when you're whizzing past in your car, or even in a more metaphorical sense, when we're busy doing our errands or taking care of kids, whether they have fur or they're humans, or or how fast we're just going through media on the computer. When you slow down, I literally get to stop and smell the roses. There are so many times where I'm just walking and there's a pretty flower and I stop and I get to smell it. Or I had no idea that there was going to be a stream on this little hike that I'm on, and oh my gosh, now there's a stream that I get to cool off in, or my dogs get to drink water. There's just so many little things that we can miss when we're moving so quickly. And you never know what's going to be around a corner. And so that's what I love, is getting surprised by the beauty that you didn't know was there until you got there. And even if you know a little bit about where you're going, you don't always know, or I don't always know how to expect what I already know might be there. Does that make sense? So I can read a review about a hike and people say it's gorgeous, there's red rocks everywhere, and you get to climb boulders and climb down ropes, and it's super fun. Okay, cool. But then once I get to experience it myself on my feet, taking it slow, I get to feel all those feelings that come up for me when I'm on that journey. I get to see all the beautiful colors. I get to climb down those ropes and know what it's like to have to use my physical strength to pull me up and down something. So those are why I like journeys. So what is a favorite thing that you like about journeys? And then we're going to get into a PureGame journey that we're inviting you into.
And thank you for that explanation, because that's part of it, right? It's the richness of it. And of course, I've talked about this before. I love to journey on my bike. I've got a goal this year to ride 1,000 miles on my mountain bike, which might not seem a lot to some people, but it will seem a hell of a lot to others. And this weekend, I was out on Saturday, and I came over the top of a hill, and it was a stunning view, and I just kind of stopped and looked, and there were 3 deer just moseying up the other side of the hill, and it was like, this is really cool. I really love being out here and just stopping and taking this journey, and it positively affects my soul, right? Just like you, when you're out there and you find a stream, it really does enrich you in a way that going too fast doesn't, or even not taking the journey doesn't. And so I love that. Thank you. And yes, the invitation to everyone is to take a little journey. We want to create a little bit of clarity on how you could get involved in influencing, in impacting a child's life. When you think about that, it's confusing, right? How am I going to influence a child's life from my computer, from my home? I can't do that. I can't get out there and play soccer with a kid. I can't, go out there and take a kid to a movie or whatever that is, right? There's some confusion on how to do that. We want to create some clarity around helping kids and taking you on a journey. And Tiffany, what is that journey?
Anything can be a journey, and it's a process. And sometimes it's a really short, quick, easy process. And sometimes it's a little bit longer and more in depth, right? So we are doing a champion's journey through PureGame that we're inviting you into. We talked about this a few weeks ago, not too long ago, and we kind of outlined the different types of champion that you can be with PureGame. So we want to simplify the process and invite you into that journey and make it really easy for you to know how to get involved to help youth in Orange County.
Champion's journey. It's actually helping you get involved in a child's life from the comfort of your desk, your living room, your dining room, whatever it is. And it's nice and simple to start with. Every journey, no matter how short or long, starts with one step, right? Every journey starts with that first step. So your first step to get involved is to actually think about some wisdom that you would like to share with your younger self. We've talked about this before. Sharing wisdom with your younger self will actually help this next generation understand some of that stuff you've already learned, right? And so what we want to do is challenge you to now sit down and write a wisdom note. We've got the link down below in here for the actual landing page. So you can just go straight to visit that, simply put in your name, your email address, and the little sentence that you would share with your younger self. And I know, I get it. Some of us are going to be tempted to write, buy Apple stock, get involved in Bitcoin. We get that. That is good wisdom. But let's think about real life wisdom, right? What would you say to yourself? And for me, my wisdom, I always think about this, is don't worry about what other people think so much. Is really the wisdom that I would give my younger self, because I got so caught up in worrying about what other people would think about me. I never focused on me. I was always consumed by, well, if I did that, they might think this. And it still comes out today in my writing that I write. I still don't post most of what I write because I think it's not good enough. So I worry about what other people are gonna think about that. So I'm getting over that by reminding myself the wisdom I would share with my younger self. Don't worry about what other people think. What about you, Tiffany? What would you share with your young?
Something I really struggled with was being able to acknowledge my feelings and feel them, because it was communicated to me that my feelings didn't matter. And so what I would tell my younger self is that it is okay to feel all of your feelings. That's simple. So that's the type of advice we're looking for. It could take you just a few minutes of sitting and thinking. If you were looking at a picture of your younger self or thinking back to a moment where maybe you were struggling, and then just what is a really short nugget of wisdom that you would tell yourself. And that is what you're going to tell a kid of that same age. Like Tony said, it's super simple. The link to the Wisdom Champion landing page is below. All you need to do is type in your name, your email address, the age of the child that the wisdom is going to. So just whatever age you would be telling yourself, if that makes it easier for you. And then just your little short sentence of wisdom. And that's it.
Then we'll go and share that with a kid in the PureGame program. And that's the essence of this. It's going to be nice and easy. So we're challenging you to step into this champion's journey. By stepping into this single step of sharing your wisdom, you will be a champion, because there is a child out there that needs your piece of wisdom, and you can become that champion for that child. So what are you listening to us for? Get down there, link it, and share your wisdom.
Yes. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tony, for another great and encouraging episode of the Tiff and Tony Show. And we so hope that all of you are getting onto that landing page. It should take you less than 5 minutes to fill it out, okay? So get out there, share your wisdom, and be a champion for those who need it. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
And thank you, Tiffany. See ya.
Thank you so much for joining this week's episode of the Tiff and Tony Show. We hope you feel encouraged and motivated to keep growing with us. If you like what we do here at PureGame, one of the best ways you can support us is by liking and sharing this video with your friends on social media. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel using the button directly below this video on YouTube, and you can donate at our website, www.thepurgame.org. And with that, we'll see you right back here next week.